And we should be live.
Nice.
It's so bright. Okay. Let's retweet that biz. Shaboush.
It is so loud.
Yeah, what? Good thing
Can
the
you
fan
hear-
came in.
No, sorry, it's just I heard RZA just started popping up.
As he does. Is your Wu-Tang Windows sound pack?
Yep. The saga continues.
That's when you. That's your startup noise.
Fuck, I should be my new alarm instead of the kick-ass one. I don't know if I could wake up the Triumph though.
No.
That might just put me right back to sleep.
Oh man. I think that's all I played this week.
Yeah, I did not play much.
I did
See
not
my
play
trophy list. Truffers. My truffle list.
perpendicular to the square.
Oh, I gotta close out all sorts of stuff. Let's get this stuff out of here. Creative
Alright.
Cloud, you can go. Log me in, you can go. VPN for work, get out of here. I don't want your Java.
Nobody
Yeah,
wants your Java.
Evernote, you can go away for a while. Okay. Okay, I played that. I played. Oh, yeah. I played that game.
Man.
Played Rural Juror PGA Tour.
Roger.
Oh, you did play that too.
Yeah. I was gonna play The Witcher 3 this week, but they launched a 5.7 gig patch.
So that did not happen.
No. And apparently performance is worse now.
Yay!
By like 10 frames. So, you know, I'll be able to play that game one day. Okay. Now I have 4 games. Alright.
Yeah, me too. It's a record.
I have 2,
Oh.
and I'm playing one of them now.
I would say that's par for the course.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yep.
Yeah, let me put down Alpha Bears. Alright. Go away, Bears.
So you've seen Juno, right?
The movie?
Yeah.
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 You remember that little anime thing they had in that?
No.
This doesn't ring any bells for you.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, it does.
How do I not?
Where do you
I don't
find
know.
this stuff?
Because it's fucking. Come on, I've been wearing this in public, and everyone's just.
Everyone's looking at it like, what is what?
Everyone's expecting just you to be like,
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
I hide your women and children.
Anyways, you guys ready to start?
Sure.
Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
What's up?
And we have the Hannah.
Oh, hey, just dropped my pencil.
Hey.
All right. Hey.
Hey.
Exciting live stream here, guys.
Yep.
Pencils running wild. Alright, let's get right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Stuff.
Stuff and junk?
Yeah, stuff and junk.
Things in business?
Yeah, stuff. Well, no, we had our Monday night game night, Battlefield 4. Tried to get something going on Friday, but I don't know what I was doing. And then I was in coma mode all of Saturday evening, so yeah, I didn't play. They only had one Battlefield this week, and I'm having trouble remembering anything that really happened.
Except it was outstandingly fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we we all had our laughs, and I'm sure we argued about something silly.
Sure.
Yep.
But I did I finish Batman last week?
No, you're still doing the challenges, Riddler stuff.
No, but I finished like the regular game proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, challenge is done.
Wow, nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I think I had to look up like
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Yep, went muted.
still muted.
Oh, now you're back. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Woo.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa. Skype.
Everything's working?
Everything sounds good.
Okay. So I finished about 200 of them, proper, and I had to, look up the last 40 because I did not have the cerebral capacity to try and figure these things out.
Yeah.
Funny, in the last 15 minutes of playing that game of, I don't know, 30 some odd hours, I learned two new mechanics in the last 10 minutes.
Hey, good.
Nice.
I didn't know Batman could run and slide.
Oh.
Which I needed to do on two Riddler trophies. I was like, I know you have to be able to slide or something. Pro tip, it's double tap right trigger.
That's
because
a weird spot.
while you're running,
Why would you ever do that?
double trap right Tigger.
Yep.
Right Tigger?
Right Tigger.
Right Tigger.
Right Tigger, and it'll slide.
Yeah. So is it like a full-on baseball slide from like when he was on the Gotham City Batman?
Oh yeah, just perfect,
one hand up.
Perfect figure four. Just goes right in, sliding into home.
He just gets up, he brushes off.
Gets up, high fives, slap ass a few times, and it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are at least, I'm gonna say 30 of these that there is no way in the world without a guide could you ever find them.
Yeah.
There's one for where you're doing like the frame something in and snap the picture of it, or the the bat noise you hold up and it takes like that snapshot or whatever.
Noise.
No, I think it goes squeak, 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 squeak.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think it's cha chi cha chi cha chi.
Are those for those last 30 ones? Are they expecting you to interrogate those green guys to find the location?
Even with the location spotted, and you're in the general area, you couldn't find these damn things.
Weird.
So one of them is like for Solomon Grundy, find a Solomon Grundy where it just has that little creepy record playing with that little baby found him on a Monday.
Yeah.
That thing.
Super creepy.
It's super creepy, and it's with all candlelit room and stuff. And you're like, I don't want to be here at all.
Sounds
but
kind of
that
romantic.
It's like a little alcove that's completely blocked off. That's out of your frame of view to see that you can get up and over it.
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, fine. Maybe I just stumbled across that one. But the one for the Calendar Man was the most devious thing I had ever seen. So it's below the high-rise building. I think it's in Ranker Island or something. I don't even know the name of the islands. Milagami. Screw it.
That sounds right.
It's
Batman
the
Island.
islands with the tall buildings where you can drive underneath them. It's like an underground railway.
Nakatomi Island?
Yeah, something like that.
Always Nakatomi.
So it's underneath, and there's pillars and there's little alleyways and stuff under here. But there's this one spot where it has these pillars that you drive through. You drive through it a dozen times, and there's this one spot that's literally the width of the car, above you, that has a little probably a 4x8 sheet that's just missing, and you're supposed to see it, and everything else blends together, and you're like, I'm looking up at this thing, and there is no effing way I'd have found this. I'm just if without the video, I'm like, all right, because it's in between the regular street level and the sub street level. It's in this gap.
Oh, weird.
I'm like, how would anyone find this? So
very carefully.
Suffice to say, and there's ones in the airship that I never would have got to, and they're in all the other areas are just man, who would have spent time looking for this stuff?
Well, it seems like it's one of those things where you knew it's in the area and you're just wandering in there for an hour, and then you're just messing around and you see it and you're just like, come on, you're just wasting your time.
There was a dozen of them that don't even make any sense at all. There's one where you're standing in the one dirigible, and there's another dirigible across the way, and you stand on a pressure pad, and it's lighting these lights up. You're like, all right, now what? Am I supposed to get one of these things? And I'm sitting there, I'm throwing batarangs foo, 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 and I'm like, oh, the lights are off by the time it gets there. Which one do I have to hit? Because it gives you no feedback on what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And literally, you're waiting for it to tick up and hit the last one when it lights.
Great. It sounds like stuff in Lego games where it's just you're looking at this stuff and you know you're supposed to do something. And it's like I don't know what you want from me. This is a game for 10-year-olds, and I don't know what you want.
Oh, it's driving me. It was driving me crazy. And one of my favorite ones. Remember the one with the room that I was talking about last week? I know how to solve it. So my original idea to go in like 2 rooms over and toss the remote batarang through a vent apparently was the way to finish it, but I don't know how I was messing this up before. So I'm on the YouTube sitting there watching this guy do it. It's like, dude, I've done this. This can't be right.
I was like, dude, that's what I'm doing.
I'm like, you bastard! Like, and then I do it first try. I'm like, oh.
Pro gamer.
I'm having like a meltdown this entire time. Oh, and the dude that the bat died to get speed so you can like coast longer.
Yeah.
Apparently, you have to hold right trigger to dive fast. You can't just hold down. So I'm like, oh gosh. Darn it.
It's just too much of that stuff where you're only using it like twice.
Oh, okay, so I gotta let everyone know. On the orphanage, so once you get your Batmobile fully upgraded to where you can shoot a gajillion rockets at one time.
I don't like where this is going.
So there's one where you like point, shoot, light, shoot them, then they all light up. And you're like, I cannot shoot these fast enough by the time runs out.
You're just in Macross now?
Right, yeah. Apparently it's a Macross moment.
Yeah.
So during the course of this, apparently I may have missed it, that you have to rapidly hit the X button to launch multiple rockets until they're all gone.
Okay.
I thought it'd be like any other game where you hold, paint, release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Apparently it doesn't work like that. You just sit there and mash X till they're all lit, and then you have 2 more to shoot. Oh.
Good times.
Oh, and if you forget the scan Catwoman's collar, like I did, because apparently in the video they're like, oh, it's the collar that's on her neck. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And you forget to scan it while it's on her. The point when you get to the last key box where she takes it and throws it off, it's in that room on the floor. So if you're looking at the key box where you got the last key from, look to your right, it's on the floor. Good luck finding it.
So you had a really great time.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
For 0 payoff.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Nothing that the Nightfall protocol should have been happened.
Amazing. So I think without spoiling for anyone at home, just don't do it. You look it up on YouTube, maybe.
YouTube it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it is not worth the headache of doing that to 100%.
That sucks.
Well, so uninstalled, out the tray, on the shelf. I'm done.
Good night.
I am done with it.
Good night,
I don't
Alfred.
care that there's Batgirl missions, Red Hood missions,
With the DLC.
Harley missions. I don't care.
The only cool DLC I've seen them tease was this week they showed the 89 Batman. It's the Michael Keaton original Batman movie and Batmobile. That looks cool as hell.
Yeah,
but only available with the season pass, so I'm not gonna.
Spend $40
at this point,
for that.
well, at this point, why don't I just wait for the Game of the Year edition? Pick that up for $60 and you get the whole thing.
Yep.
I just man, that was just an exercise in
Futility?
patience. Impatience. No, I mean futility would have mean if I didn't finish it or if it was unfinishable.
Yeah.
Which when I saw the YouTube video, the part with the Catwoman thing, I'm like, I'm boned. I got to do this all over again. I'm screwed.
This is my nightmare.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing. Oh, and there's buildings you can like fly into. I had no idea until I started watching these things.
Jeez.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, all right, this glass looks breakable. And you're walking all around this building. It's like, I don't know how to get into the middle of this building. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Batman.
So yeah, that's done.
Nice.
And done. But I picked up PGA Tour Golf Rory McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy stares in your soul during the tutorial. Brought to you by
Oh my
eSports.
god, tell me that's not the most uncomfortable thing.
So it's literally Rory McIlroy just looking right in the camera, just being like, I had so much fun during the Open, and I thought it was really great. Unblinking.
Oh,
Just can't handle it.
Like, I thought
Yes.
I thought it was a rendering of him at some point.
I thought so too,
because he is so rigid. He's just sitting there like, well, I was leading up to the green, and I had a lot of bad shots behind me, and just I kind of powered through it, and then it goes to the moment where you play it. I'm like, did they render him like that?
Cyber Rory?
He is so stiff.
Well, and two, like, what I think is really unfortunate about it is the stuff that he's talking about and the stories he's telling are really interesting. And it's talking about, like, how nervous he is when he starts a round, and, like, as he gets on the round, as he gets the round underway, he loosens up a little bit and then gets really great at the end. And, like, he's telling these warm, friendly stories without, like, I think a producer must have been like, look, man, just don't smile. Just look in the camera, just say the lines, don't smile.
Yeah.
And it just comes off as like, I was really having a good time.
It reminded me of that scene from The Rundown where Sean William Scott's telling him, look angry. Look angry.
Yeah.
Stare him in the eyes. Like,
Yeah.
Focus. He's like, what's wrong with this guy?
And it kind of sucks because the intro, like the tutorial and the intro is all about like, this is real Rory McIlroy, sort of coaching you through the stuff that he goes through when he's playing a huge Open, because it's sort of presented as like, well, here I'm at a big PGA Tour event, and you get to relive like big moments from my last big tour event.
Right,
that's cool.
Which is cool, but then actual Rory coming out is just so flat.
Oh, not just flat. It literally felt like a bad rendering of him. Just like, look how good we can animate his mouth, but we quite haven't figured out the rest of it. So
blinking, we ran out of time.
Yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe it was originally supposed to be mocap footage, and they just ran out of time.
Maybe they just photoshopped out all the little nubs.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to do any of this, and none of this stuff. Like, none of it translated to when you were actually executing it on the course either. Like,
no, because it sort of seemed like, hey, have you never played a golf game before? You're gonna do some cool stuff out of the gate. You totally screwed up that shot. That's fine. It's on the fairway. You're good.
Oh yeah, you had zero feedback on what you were trying to do. It just did it for you.
Stick back, stick forward. Hey, that was a great shot.
Good job, guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy, player one.
But what's really great is, thankfully, that experience, sort of thankfully, and like Knob said, unfortunately, that doesn't translate to any of the rest of the game, because the rest of the gameplay in the game is pretty solid.
That's good.
I thought it was way too easy.
I think that's the problem for this game, though, is I feel like every time EA Sports makes a PGA game, they're fighting with themselves, either where it's way too simmy and it's just way too hard, or you have to invest so much time into it to get proficient with it, or they have a game like this where it's just sort of like, yeah, man, it's pretty easy.
Well, it looks like they brought back like the floating statistic meter.
Right.
After every round, like your attributes and stats will go up and down compared to how you play. I only played, I think, one tournament with it, and I was literally playing like 5 holes a day on it, and it simulated the rest. I'm like, what? I'm here to golf, dude.
So I've played a ton of this game, and I think that is one of the crimes of this game. So I think there's a ton of problems with this game that I think can be fixed fairly easily. One, the menus have lag. The menus are framey.
Woof.
Yeah. The rest of the game is fine.
Game. Like, how did they mess that up?
Well, what's weird is the rest of the game is fine. Nothing else is really framey or unresponsive, except for the 3-click system, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But I think one of the biggest sins this game presents is, you go and you create a golfer, which there is no way to not create a golfer that looks like some sort of hellish mistake.
Looks like a serial killer. Mine looks like a serial killer.
I watched the beginning of the Giant Bomb Quick Look, and they really went into that. That was entertaining.
I mean, it's hard to make a normal-looking dude.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks like they went like, here's Charles Manson, here's I can't remember any.
But then they were
super
made out
good.
of wax, and we melted them a
Yes,
little.
we made out of wax. We kind of put a sheen over everybody. Everyone looks like a plastic.
And then squeezed them.
Yeah,
And squeezed them.
So, like, once you get into the actual, you create a golfer, you pick your kind of your base level statistics, whether you want to be balanced or focus on strength or precision or stuff like that, which is presented fairly well.
Yeah.
You get into, like, start your career, which in the past games has been so strong.
yeah.
In this game, they have removed the calendar,
Yep.
so you have no idea what you're working towards. By default, you only play probably about 4 or 5 holes on a course per day. So it's like you start and you're already like 1 over, and and you're on like hole 10 and you play the hole 15, and it simulates everything on either side.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
So you actually have to go in and say, no, I want to play all 18 holes for every time I go in and play.
Yeah, I didn't even give it a chance to get into that part yet.
Well, which is even worse because there's only like 8 courses in this game.
Oh, bummer.
So, like, it's so unfortunate because I feel like the gameplay is really strong. I picked, I think it's called arcade mode. There's arcade mode, which is old Tiger, which is you can power up your shots, you can do the spin on the ball by mastering A or X.
Yeah.
It's kind of your older pre 2012, 2013 Tiger. You have the 3-click system, which doesn't seem to work nearly at all.
Yeah.
And then you have kind of, I think it's called Tour difficulty, which is you don't get, you don't get to zoom into the hole. You don't get to spin your ball. That's your traditional simulation mode.
Yeah, and being able in the control setup to actually zoom and aim your shot, like it'll give you like a distance meter here, then it'll have like your target zones like way out here. So am I aiming at this one or this one? Like I'm gonna put it that like parallel to each other. Like they're like separated apart from each other.
And I think what's even worse is, God, there's so many. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this game, but there's so many problems that it's preventing me from really recommending it to anybody.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Like, God, where do I even know where I start? There's actually a pretty cool mode called Nightclub.
I haven't played it yet.
It's this nighttime, and like everything on the course is like neon lined, and it's all these little challenge modes.
Golfing.
What's that?
Rory McIlroy, Cosmic Golfing.
It is that. Yes.
It's glow golf. It's glow golf taken to the next level.
Yeah, it is. It is literally that, and it's very much these little challenges, which are kind of fun, but I don't know why I'm doing them at all.
You're not earning pin packs. It's not.
Yeah,
you're not
the pin packs are not a
attributes.
thing in this one.
Nor is the country club thing.
Country club's gone.
Oof.
Yeah, it's what's really unfortunate is they skipped a year to get prepared for this next gen. And when you look at the game, it does look good. I wouldn't say it's the best looking golf game. I don't think it looks as good as it should, but the frame rate is solid. It runs really well. There's no loading between holes.
Okay.
I really like the presentation, actually. It legitimately, for once, looks like it's on TV. They have the flybys of like the clubhouse on the course, and the logos are planted in the ground, and there's a deer behind it. It looks very much like golf on TV. The commentators are pretty good. The lines are a little too repeated, I think. I wish they would have recorded more. But then you start playing the game, and it's just like there's no fast forward anymore. It's just you hit triangle, and the ball has landed and stopped rolling. I don't want to skip everything. I just want to fast forward while it's flying through the air, and then when it lands, I can watch it. It only skips. The aiming is really weird. It's really hard in this game to figure out if you try to bend it, if it's really going to bend. The tutorial's like, if you want to bend it left, you need to pull back to the bottom left
shot.
And then push to the top right. And I'm just like, wait, but am I bending it to the... Wait, what? the only thing that makes me feel better is that the developers have been coming out on Twitter and saying, like, look, we're not going to release a PGA Tour game every year anymore. What we're going to do instead is we're going to support this game for a couple of years. So we're going to kind of smooth out the edges on this game because it just has some problems. And the Battlefield 4 course is cool as hell.
Oh, yeah?
Not
I
gonna
haven't
lie.
played it yet.
You should go play that game. That course. It's super cool. There's a carrier ship that busts into one of the holes at one point, and you have to shoot it over a carrier ship.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. They have that Coyote Valley or whatever it is. That's back. No Predator, of course, because they're going to sell that later, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But it just seems
It's thin.
yeah, it is thin. Even though I'm happy the power shot's in there.
It's nice to see that back.
Where it does that, because that was one of the most satisfying things when you get it just right, when you're tap, boom, and it does that slow-mo, that...
Yeah. Now brought to you by Bose, by the way.
Yeah.
The Bose Power Shot Cam.
Yeah.
So it's even more like it's on TV, because a specific camera is sponsored.
The only thing that I miss from that game at this point is... I really miss when they had the heartbeat when a putt was really close, because... They did it so well in, like, Tiger 07, I think it was.
07, like, where the shot's coming in, you hear, whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
whoop,
and it,
whoop.
like, slows down, and you're like, no.
I spin it.
It's this thing where you held your breath sort of subconsciously.
Yeah.
I know the whatchamacallit, the spin control seems really, really, really loose.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I'm like, all right, I'm going to back this up, and, like, all of a sudden it grabs and goes, pew, right off the green. I'm like,
it just shoots towards you.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's nice to see that stuff back, but I wish the 3-click system worked better. So the problem that I have with the 3-click is it's a normal, like, it looks like Pac-Man, basically. And there's a white zone at the top, and there's a white zone at the bottom. So you assume you click, you land in the white zone, you click, you land in the white zone. You do that, and the game's like, nah, man.
Oof.
You messed up.
Wow.
It's just like...
How do you mess... What? Isn't that
what am I supposed to do then? I don't know. The tutorial for that was weird. It was nice to see them present a tutorial for the different shot styles, which I think they could have really benefited for previous games, because, like, my wife played Tiger 12, I think it was, and that's when they were way deep into, like, Tiger. When you're hopping into this thing, you've been playing Tiger for, like, 10 years, and everything is good. But... That's not good for a beginner at all.
No.
And speaking of Tiger, this game goes way out of its way to never mention Tiger Woods by name.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That guy.
They were talking about the people that won the most Masters, or the leaders and stuff. They'll mention, like, Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus
and other people in the clubhouse.
And then that other guy.
They literally say, like, and the other players in the clubhouse. It's just like, you mean Tiger? Tiger, right? The Tiger guy.
That's funny.
I don't know.
So I mean, the thing that I can hope is they come out and they get a little bit more aggressive with patches. I think if they do and they smooth some of the edges on it, I think that would be okay. I'm glad they're not selling a season pass.
That's good.
I'm glad that the pre-order course will be available for everybody in a couple of weeks. I hope they don't charge for it, because it's on the disc. It just needs more stuff. It needs way more courses.
Yeah, I think what was that? It was Tiger 08 we ran into that problem with, like the bad Tiger.
Yeah.
Where it was really lean and it controlled like garbage.
But at least when
Tiger was bad Tiger.
at least when Tiger was bad Tiger, you had the... I felt like I was moving towards, like, the PGA Tour tournaments. Like, the calendar was so useful because you could see, okay, for the next 4 days, all right, for this weekend, I'm going to be playing here, but next weekend, all right, if I qualify here, I can finish this tournament and then kind of qualify for the next one. If not, then maybe I can do it next year because my skills will be better. Right. This one's just like, well, this weekend you're playing in Boston. How's that sound? This next weekend you're in Firestone. It's like... Okay.
And you feel like you're an awesome golfer right off the bat. That was like part of the fun of starting your career mode, is you couldn't hit the ball that far, or you weren't the shots you were taking didn't have that forgiveness factor of being better at the game.
Yeah. And have you looked at the equipment available in the store?
What, all the EA stuff?
Yeah. So there's some stuff at the bottom that's like, you must be level 100 to get. And I was just like, oh man, okay, well, maybe there's some meat on this bone. I've played for probably about 8 hours total, and I'm level 30. Yeah. I was just sort of like, okay. I mean, I was winning tournaments, and my stats are in like like 55.
Yeah, I've been in 55 and 60s, and I've won the 2 that I played.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, I should be doing okay, but I shouldn't be like smoking McElroy on the. Yeah, I shouldn't be shooting like 5 better than McElroy.
In the first round, you should not beat the guy that's name is on the box.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's a lot about it that's really good.
Like I kind of missed. Oh, sorry.
Well, I think if anyone is looking to relive that old EA Sports PGA stuff, you know, when Tiger was really good, that's not this game, but this could be that game if they give it just a little bit of love. And I hope they don't launch it annually, because if they do, I probably won't buy it until like the general buzz about the game is okay. This year is the good one.
Well, remember we got bit by that bug where you're buying it every year. Then we're like, all right, and then it seemed like, all right, we're gonna do this every other year. Like where the odd years were gonna be the years we were picking it up.
Yeah, and then they skipped. You know, the last one I played was the Masters one. I think that was 2012. Yeah. I never bought 2013.
I don't think I bought that one either.
And even that was fine, but you know, at least it had the Masters, it had Augusta, it had all this stuff. You know, this one doesn't have. I don't think it has Sawgrass, TPC Sawgrass.
That's a crime.
I don't.
That's
think
in the original PGA Tour golf.
Right, like I don't think it has Augusta, if I remember correctly. You know, like there's all these courses that you should have in a golf game, or you should at least say like, this is the August course. Wink, and it's real close. You know, like what people have done in the Golf Club, which is a game that I really wish I loved because it has the quote-unquote courses that I love. But I didn't enjoy playing that game as much as I'm already enjoying this PGA Tour game.
I wish you could take the mechanics from Tiger and pop it in Golf Club and have a great time.
Yeah, because to me, Golf Club is Gran Turismo. It's a great game with a lot of content, but it's kind of cold and it's too simmy. And to me, Tiger Woods is kind of like Forza. It looks real simmy, but it's not really. You can kind of turn some stuff down and just have fun. It's not like Power Star Golf, which is very much an arcade game, or like Hot Shots Golf, which is very much an arcade golf game, which hopefully they come out with another Hot Shots Golf on PS4, because I will probably buy that. That game has a ton of content. But
that game's a lot of fun, too.
Yeah. And then you look at Rory McIlroy, and it's sort of like, well, it doesn't have the content or the simminess that, you know, the Golf Club has, and it doesn't have the charm that the Power Star has, and nor does it have like really the arcadey gameplay. It's in this horrible quagmire in the middle where it's kind of not doing anything super well.
It's pretty okay at everything and not great at anything.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 5.5, which I think is a fairly fair score. This game is
out of what?
10.
Oh, okay.
I think this game is good. It is solid. It's not good. It's not great or the best, and it's not terrible or the worst. It's kind of right there in the middle.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
But I will play some more of it to see if I can get any length out of it.
You should try the fantasy courses.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I probably really should.
The Battlefield.
This is my impressions off of playing this game one time.
Yeah.
Where I sat down and played it for a couple hours in one shot. Well, on that note, since I had wrapped up Batman, I felt like getting poked in the eye some more, so I played some Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse.
Why'd you do this to yourself?
Because I bought it.
Yeah.
Like, it's this game. I don't I don't know why the games still have this where if you can fail if an NPC doesn't do his job.
That's the worst.
So
oh my god.
So like, all right, so I bashed my way through this last fight with the Ginyu Force. It was one I was stuck on before, and I beat it first try. I'm like, all right, great.
Of course.
I'm gonna keep. All right, so I'm gonna keep mashing my way through this game here. And then I get like I'm on Frieza's ship. I'm getting attacked, like kill 20 people, like no problem. But then I have Gohan and the Great White Doom Krillin with me, and he just he died. I failed this 14 times because he kept dying.
Great.
In the last group of enemies. To the point where, like, I just got to sit here and babysit you now.
Yeah, it's like, wasn't there something that was like that in Zone of the Enders 2?
Yes.
Was that guy at the beginning where you break him out of that shipping container? When you shoot that container and he's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you got to defend him the whole time while, like, no one's paying attention to you. Everyone's shooting the guy.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so now I'm stuck on another one of those. So I finally battle my way through that, and I'm playing as Ginyu, the change now thing. And now I'm Captain Ginyu running around, and your character doesn't talk. And you run up to Krillin and go on, you're like... like this whole pantomime, this whole thing. No, it's not me. It's me.
Yeah.
When you don't know who I am to begin with, I'm just this random interloper.
Because I'm not Goku.
So now, all right. So now I'm fighting. I'm on that mission where Frieza's where he beats up Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan in one fell swoop, and then I'm the interloper in that. Watch me change my 4 times thing. Luckily, they fast forward. They goes from Form 1 to Final, like, instantly.
Oh, nice.
Then then Piccolo shows up, gets his butt kicked. And then Goku comes flying in. Dun, 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 and then...
I'm here to save the day.
Watch me. Frieza, can I try something really fast? I'm like... Wait, what is happening? Like,
why are you talking to him?
It's like then up Spirit Bomb. Like, all right, so now I got to defend Goku when literally he does nothing but bang on Goku the whole time till 30 seconds he's dead. I'm like, failed.
Son of a...
It's just so maybe I should grind out some more of this other stuff to get my guy a little higher level so I can.
That sounds like such
have
a great
a little more life going into this shenanigans.
A grinding in a DBZ game, man, that sounds so much fun.
Oh, and that hub world where everyone's supposed to be hanging out and communicating is dead. There I am, the only soul running around in this thing.
It's like someone coming into Ghost Town. Hey, Ma, we got a visitor.
It's like, hey, guys.
Opening up the shops again.
So where is...
Oh, we totally have the online lobby over here. Oh, there's so many people in it. Hold on, I'm busy.
Yeah, so I'm running around there just trying to, like, all right. So apparently, I buy a whole bunch of healing items because apparently I need them in battle because I suck so bad at this game.
Don't blame yourself, Knobs.
So no, what I do, I'm terrible at this game. Like, I almost like so bad I want to stream this. Because that fight in Frieza's ship where the camera kept getting stuck behind me, and I'm like, I don't know which way I'm facing. Who am I hitting right now?
Oh, myself.
Oh, great. So, I'm dead. Oh, no, wait, Krillin died. Oh, that's right.
Krillin never dies.
Krillin always dies.
Yeah, Krillin always dies. He's useless.
Yes, hence the joke.
Anyone else remember when he got cut in half? Like,
at least once.
Yeah, with his own attack!
Yep.
That's true. Krillin, you're the worst. Who put Krillin in charge of anything? Put Krillin in the hub world. He can't hurt anyone.
It's and like I'm running around. I was like, and there's Krillin. Like, so I go to talk to Krillin. I was like, hey, do you want to be my trainee? No. Like,
no, I'm good.
No, pass. Well, forget you then.
Do you have Yamcha back there somewhere? I'll learn from him.
No, there's Yamcha. There's it's not Deborah. It's the other green monster in the Ginyu Force. It's got the 4 eyes.
I don't remember. The one that dies real quick.
The one that runs away from everything. Like, yes, you're the guy I need to pattern my skills after.
Jeez.
It's
And
Boy, this game.
and even better. So then the plot point happens like right after you beat the Ginyu Force, where this what's this guy? Mira and some random red chick. I can't remember her name, but they're demons from the demon realm, from
Naturally.
hell, and they're like, oh, it's the Time Lord Kai telling me this. I'm like, all right, so that checks out.
So I missed a couple episodes of DBZ, maybe. All right.
right?
So,
Crossover.
but yeah, but remember when Goku killed his father, Deborah, the devil dude from the Mayan saga that turned people to stone? Like,
Nope.
yes, I mildly remember him.
That was maybe in like 2 episodes. Sure.
Yeah.
So that was that guy, and oh, these are his kids. Oh, no kidding. They control time. Where were they when their dad got killed? Like,
Yeah.
oh, gargoyle douchebags.
But DBZ.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's literally like I'd rather watch high school women's basketball than playing this game, and I cannot stop myself from looking at it because it's, as Donnie always puts it, it's like being poked in the eye.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's not debilitating. It's just annoying as f. Like
Yeah.
it's just. I don't know. I feel bad for Tom Gamer. I had so many meltdowns while I was playing it. Like just losing my poops like crazy. But that's what I was playing up until this show. So
Well,
Yes.
Hanno, what about you?
Oh, you know what I played this week, Boston?
What did you play this week?
I played 16-hour work days this week. That's what I played.
That's pretty fun.
It
We're all
sounds
kind of in the same boat here.
like it. No. No, I had a super busy week at work, so I unfortunately didn't play a whole lot. I did play a bunch of Alpha Bears.
Yeah, you
so
did.
thanks for that addiction.
Hey, no problem. Helping out
That's,
Spry Fox.
that's becoming a problem.
That's me with every Spry Fox game where it's like, oh, this looks pretty cute, and like 20 hours later, I'm just like, I need to get some sleep. What?
Yeah,
Oh,
I need
God.
more. I need more bears. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, I got Golfing Bear.
Oh, I
He's
don't
the
have
best.
Dolphin Bear yet.
Oh, he makes G's appear more often.
Hey.
So you can end up with a bunch of ing words, and then you pair him with there's another bear that makes s's appear more often. So you get ings at the end of all your words.
is he the solar bear?
I wouldn't
I don't
put
think so.
put it past that game.
No, not at all. Oh man, I've only got like 7 or 8 bears, but they're all awesome.
Man.
And they are just this game's ridiculous. If you like wordplay games and you like things that are adorable, just go download Alpha Bears. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's your game.
Yeah, and I also played a bunch more Mass Effect.
Yeah, you did.
So
It is hot.
I've been leveling up my Commander Shepard. Are you okay over there, Knobs?
I'm dying.
Oh, I'm just. Holy cow!
You just got so worked up, you're overheating a little?
I don't know.
Probably. Anyway, so I'm playing, Renegade Femshep. I finally got to Pharos,
Ah,
and I'm like level 20-ish
Wow.
on Pharos, and I've got like 500 HP. I'm just like, I literally just walked out there like, oh no, the Geth. I'm like, what Geth?
yeah, Black. I mean,
Dead. It was. My current team is Liara, Garrus, and my character who is just straight up shock trooper.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a walking tank, and I've got biotic support and a sniper.
Nice.
So I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
You checked all the right boxes.
Yeah, I really did. Game's still really good. You know, once you get over that initial hump with the combat where it's kind of like, and like, mostly my fault. I shouldn't go to Novaria first. I can't help myself.
Well, and also once you get out of the Citadel the first time, because the
Yeah.
game is sort of like the action intro and then, lore dump, and then it's kind of like it's this very uneven experience at the beginning.
Yeah, it's a good 5 hours of just like this really heavy up and down, and then it finally evens out, and you can go explore the the different areas in the galaxy, and just I love the way they present some of the missions. It's like, oh, you're just flying and you get a distress beacon. Let's check out that
That's
planet.
right.
Yeah.
That stuff's cool.
The one thing I did notice, I thought there was a lot more dialogue in this game. There's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like after the missions, you can go and talk to each one of your potential party members, and there's a lot there. But I keep going to like talk to Joker and see if he's got anything new to say, and no, he never really has.
My bones are brittle.
Yeah, yeah. He keeps telling me about his brittle bones.
I'm Seth Green. Here's a joke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Might as well put a red nose on him.
Yeah. Have you seen My Robot Girlfriend yet? Oh no, that's wrong game. Sorry.
Next one.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at how playing this game and having recently, well, not recently, but somewhat recently finished Dragon Age Inquisition, and just seeing some of the design elements that they used between those two games. Like, you have all these planets that you can go to in the original Mass Effect, and you can land on them and you can roam around, and there's a few missions here and there. Sort of the same idea of all the different areas on the map in Inquisition. It's not open world, but there are open areas that you can access fairly quickly.
I feel like Mass Effect... I feel like Dragon Age... Event was like the extrapolation of that idea, where in Mass Effect it's sort of like, cool, I landed on this planet. Oh, there's nothing to do here. Yeah. Okay. Back to work.
What, you don't have to kill Thresher Maws?
Oh, God, those things.
Yeah, I forgot they mentioned Cerberus in the first game.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So, when you go to the one planet where you hear the beacon and it turns out it's a fake and it's just surrounded by Thresher Maws?
Yeah.
And you kill those guys, and you go back to Admiral Kahaku in the Citadel Tower, and you're like, oh, this is what happened. He's like, that's weird. That sounds like a setup. He calls you back. He's like, it was a setup by Cerberus. They went rogue. And I'm like, oh,
interesting.
Yeah. He's like, that's nice. I like that.
Good job, Mass Effect.
Martin Sheen, you jerk.
Yeah. Oh, man, that stuff was so good in 2.
Oh man, I keep having to pass 2 on the PS3 as I go to start 1. I'm like,
I could just take a detour.
Yeah. But I'm like, no, you're gonna.
I could just stop there for 40 or 50 hours.
I finished Pharos last night. I think I finished. I'm like right about to finish. Like I'm about to leave. Like I tried to use the gas grenade on the colonists.
They never work.
Nice. It never works.
I just kill them all.
Yeah.
I feel so badly. They never work for me.
No. I mean, they work, but, like, there's so many. There's 16 colonists, and I've got 6 grenades.
Yeah.
And there's no refills anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
I don't remember that mission being that much of a problem.
I always use them on the first enemies you run into, because I always think those are the colonists. Yeah. And then, like, I waste all 6 of my grenades, and they're like, well, that didn't work. And then, like, the next room you run in at the colonists, and I was like, haha.
You're just like 2 fists, and I'm like,
yeah, just like...
Well, so I figured it out once I got there. It's like, okay, you have to get to the controls to lift up that thing, so that you can get past that. Yeah, that was real vague.
No, sorry, you froze at, like, the best part.
Nice. No, so you have to get to the crane controls to move the thing they plopped on the stairway to the Thorian.
Right.
And so what you have to do is you save those grenades to get rid of the dudes that are around that, so you can exit combat and use the...
Is that the talking tree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you clear out that area,
yes,
you exit combat, and you can actually access the controls, and you could theoretically save all of them. You just have to run past the rest of them.
Yeah.
But I completely, it's been too long since I played it, so I was like, okay, well, I guess I gotta kill everybody until I exit combat. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's a Renegade playthrough, so kind of
thematically correct.
Yeah, and I forgot they didn't introduce the Renegade action and like Paragon actions until the second game.
Oh right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I've been waiting for one of those to pop up, and then I realized, oh, that's never going to happen in this one.
Mass Effect 2, you're pretty good.
Mass Effect 2 is pretty good. I forget who I was talking to somebody about last night about Mass Effect, and they're like, yeah, I was thinking about trying out 3. I heard that was the best one, and I'm like, who do you talk to?
Who told you that? It's not bad, but it's certainly no 2.
It's certainly no Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like,
Who lied to you?
Yeah, it's kind of like someone going, you know what Metal Gear game you should start with? 4. You should really start with 4.
You should just start with the second half of 2.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't be confused at all.
Yeah.
That floored me. I was just like, no, man.
No, man. They lied to you. They're not your friend.
You can skip 1, skipping 1. I totally get that, especially coming back and playing it as much as I like it. 2, definitely the high point of that series.
Yeah, required reading.
Unquestionably the high point of that series.
Oh, yeah.
So, just been playing a ton of that.
Whoever said 3 was the best one has a set of quads.
Oh, man.
Oh,
right.
That was so good.
We have fun here.
Yeah. But that's all I played this week. It was super busy.
I finally got a chance to play Rocket League now that the servers are starting to stabilize.
Nice.
Holy crap, is that game awesome.
Yeah. Isn't it?
What's crazy, what I think is so crazy about Rocket League is it's a video game. Mm-hmm. There is no story. There is a basic tutorial. Mm-hmm. It is only online. You don't really want to play the single player stuff because who cares?
Yeah.
It's such a pure video game experience that I can't help but love it. And playing soccer with a bunch of cars that have rocket boosters on them and flipping through the air, it's one of those games where you play the tutorial and you're like, oh, okay, this seems fun. This seems pretty easy to play. And the first multiplayer game you're playing, it's just immediately, you're like, yes, yep, this game's great.
This is controlled chaos.
And what I think is so interesting about the game is there's really nothing more to it. Mm-hmm. It is a very straightforward, certainly not simple experience, but it's a very straightforward experience, and you go through the tutorial and you know how to play Rocket League. You're just ready to go.
I would qualify it as simple. Simple because that does not imply that it is easy.
Sure.
Simple fair. Is a good word. It's got just these basic controls. It's not like a Batman game where you're discovering new mechanics, 30 hours in.
Yeah, it's very much, left trigger, right trigger, one is gas, one is brake, and X jumps. You hit X twice, you double jump.
Yeah, and you can use the stick to position your jump.
Yep, if you want to get crazy about it.
Yeah.
And then, circle does your boost.
Yeah.
And, that's it.
And then you watch some of the videos of some of these players, and you go, how are you doing that?
Yeah, what magic are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's so great because online is 3v3. You can do 1v1 and 2v2 if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But kind of the core mode is 3v3. And it's just, you have a 5-minute match. It's truly 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you're tied up, it goes in a overtime is just whoever scores the first goal wins, and that's it.
Yeah, if you had heard the term esports in reference to video games in 2000, this is what I would have pictured, is Rocket League. Something crazy. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's a video game, but it's also a sport, but you can't actually play said sport.
Well, and I think what's so great about Rocket League is even if you've never played Rocket League, watching it, it's immediately apparent what's going on. It's not like watching Dota or League of Legends where it's just like, I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
You got 6 cars, there's 3 are orange, 3 are blue, and you have an orange and a blue goal, and you have a giant metal ball.
Yep.
That's it. Just get it in one of the goals. Hopefully not yours. Whoops.
Yeah.
Not like that happened to me or anything. Sorry, teammates.
Is there an achievement for it?
No, thankfully.
There should be.
God, that'd be the worst. And it's just fun. It's not anything super crazy. It's not the ridiculous. There's no giant walled garden. There's not even really the need for voice chat. And it's just fun. If you have a PS4, it's free this month. You have to go get it. You have to try it. And apparently it's kind of the TVGP Wednesday night game du jour at the moment. So go get it because of that at the very least. Oh, it's so good. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, imported this game from the UK for the Vita, Steins Gate.
Oh.
This is I imported the UK version because nobody really knows who's going to sell the US one when it comes out. So it might be exclusive to Amazon, or it might be exclusive to Rice Digital, which is a UK company. So who knows? But I have time to play it now, so I paid $40 to import it, which is not that unreasonable.
Is that with shipping?
Yeah, I just bought it from Amazon, actually.
Oh, wow.
Just if you search for Steins Gate, and on Amazon or Steins Gate Vita, it just comes up, and it's the UK one, and it says that's an import, but it's like $40. So that's reasonable. If you buy the US one, comes out August 26th, it's the same price.
Yeah.
The PS3 version is $30. It's the same price if you want to import it. Both the PS3 and the Vita are region free, so you don't really have to wait. The same company is selling it in all regions, so you're supporting it either way. First off, it's kind of nice to spend some time with my Vita again. I am not used to how heavy it is.
My little arms can't hold this.
Especially for a game that you have to hit X to keep moving the dialogue forward. So this is for anybody that hasn't heard Steins Gate, this is a pretty old game that has recently gotten... It was released and translated on the PC maybe like 2 years ago or so.
Okay.
And now it's coming out on Vita and PS3. It is a traditional visual novel. It's not like 999 or VLR where it has puzzles or anything. It has none of that. It is just a book with background and voice acting. And there are a couple of decisions. You know, there's a functioning smartphone in the game. Your decisions are mostly surrounding, oh, you just got an email, how do you respond to it, if you respond to it at all, that sort of stuff.
Oh, we like emails.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's the beginning of the game, so I don't want to give too much of the plot away because, one, I don't know what's going on, so I don't know what is a spoiler or what isn't. I'm probably about 5 hours in, and I just started the second chapter. So this game is long.
Yeah.
I think if you're someone that hasn't played a visual novel before, get through the first chapter, because the main character in the first chapter is kind of unlikable. I know what they're trying to get towards. So you're a guy who has founded... Everybody's a college student around you, and you founded this like science research lab that you guys are kind of researching inventions for fun. It seems like that's what they're going to school for, but I don't think the game has really touched on that yet.
Okay.
And basically, by the end of the first chapter, and I don't think this is a spoiler, this seems to be in everything that is surrounding the game, you basically invent a time machine.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of the game is surrounding, you know, what does time travel mean, and has somebody traveled through time before, and what happened in the first chapter that your memories don't align with everybody else's in the game, including stuff that happened like 10 years ago.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Why doesn't everything jive anymore, and why doesn't anyone remember this pretty important stuff that went down like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And so far it's really good. I don't know if it is necessarily the first game I would recommend if someone's looking to get into visual novels. I'd probably recommend 999 because the puzzles in that break up everything a little bit nicer. But the one thing I like that this game does really well is it does like the Legend of Zelda thing where when a new term or an important term is on the screen, it's highlighted in red.
Oh, cool.
But what they do is they have this giant dictionary in the game where it's, you know, someone's talking about the grandfather effect time travel theory, and they kind of drop that, and it's just like, okay, cool. What is that? And you look at the dictionary item, and it has like this 6-page, you know, entry about here's what this theory is, here's when it was disproven, here's the whole idea behind it, and gets, by the end of that little entry, gets kind of detailed about this theory about time travel. So if you want to kind of just enjoy the game and like, yeah, all right, time travel, that sounds cool, whatever. Or if you want to dig into what all this stuff is, you really can. So that's kind of nice, and it's kind of nice when they drop some anime-specific terms in there, like moe, and if you don't know what that stuff means, they do a really good job of defining all that stuff really, really cleanly, because it seems like it's a game that was very much made by a Japanese company for Japanese players. Yeah. And the company that localized it, in a good way and in a bad way, didn't change any of that. So it's almost a necessity that they explain all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So far, I'm starting in chapter 2, and it seems like it's really starting to pick up pace. I know there's 6 endings, and I know there's a whole bunch of other stuff. I've gotten a couple of trophies so far, but I'm really trying not to look at anything in this game, because everything I keep hearing about this game is once the story starts picking up, it's genuinely one of the best stories in games that anybody has ever read.
Wow.
So I kind of don't want to get, if that's the case, I really don't want to get anything spoiled. This game's a couple years old, so I could probably search for something and the whole story would be out there, sort of laid bare. It'd be like looking up the story of Final Fantasy VII, where they'd be like, oh, this thing happens. It's like, oh, well, okay, well, I guess I won't get attached to these people. All right. So, unfortunately, not a ton to talk about with this game, because it's all story. There's literally no gameplay, but it's kind of nice. It's a nice change of pace to play a visual novel after I've played like Far Cry 4 and like PGA Tour. It's this total polar opposite of those games. And now that the story's picking up, I really hope it kind of continues to dole out these kind of these mysteries, because the one part where it's really interesting is they have a 4chan clone in the game called @channel, and at certain times the main character will go and he's like, all right, now I'm gonna fight with people on the internet, and it's basically like 10 pages of like 4chan postings of,
oh good lord,
like all these people discussing about the stuff that's going on, and it's pretty entertaining.
Wow.
So hopefully it continues to stay good, because it's nice to spend more time on my Vita, but it's nice to see more visual novels come out on the Vita, especially as the third Zero Escape game has been announced and is kind of being teased at the moment. So now is kind of the best time for more visual novels to come out.
Yeah.
And the last game I played this week is Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I kind of needed like one of those bite-sized games, kind of like Rocket League, to just hop into and play some challenges and stuff. So I've been playing a little bit of that. Really rusty. So a lot of my time has been kind of shaking the rust off of that game. But really haven't done anything on that game, because the only stuff I have left is, of course, the hardest stuff. So
yeah.
Nothing has gone really well in that game at all. So, but man, that game is still really good. Edmund McMillan has been teasing a lot. If people like Binding of Isaac and you're not looking at his Tumblr, like every week he just teases a whole bunch of stuff for the new expansion.
That's cool.
And there's gonna be so much. He's adding hundreds of things again. I mean, it's just like the expansion for the first game, where it's basically an entirely new game, just DLC. So I really can't wait for that. That should be really great. But boy, we have been recording for a really long time, so let's take a break.
Cool. Oh, I can't use some water. I can get out of this sauna real quick.
There's something in my eye all day.
Is unreal.
Oh god. Whoa. Almost leaned back too far.
Taking a spill.
Yeah, don't want that. Whew. I could use a nap.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. It'd be a win for me today.
Low.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, if I had to look at one more line of code this week, I was going to blow my brains out.
Yeah, I was running into a PowerShell problem at work this week.
Gross.
And
PowerShells. Oof.
I love PowerShell so much. As a sysadmin, I love PowerShell.
Yeah, as a Windows sysadmin, let's clarify that.
It's gotten way better. You know, PowerShell 1 was bad. PowerShell 2 wasn't great. PowerShell 4 is really, really, really good. They basically have turned it into the Linux command line at this point.
Yeah.
LS even works.
Yeah. I actually, every machine I have, I install MinGW on. Just the new tools, because I need them.
Yeah, gotta get that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, troubleshooting a PowerShell script that's gonna run every 5 minutes is not something I would wish. I spent an entire day troubleshooting it, and it's just one of those things where it's like you're looking at the code and it's just like, this works. I know this works. I can run it by hand. That works. Yeah. Everything else doesn't work. This is a nightmare.
Was it the task runner? What did it end up being?
No, it was an engineer installed PowerShell 3 on QA and didn't tell me, so Live was running PowerShell 2. And they're using a command that works in PowerShell 2, but not as it works in PowerShell 3.
Got it.
I'm just like, guys, DevOps, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Work with me here.
That's sort of like when you're like, oh, my Python script works. Why doesn't it work in production? Oh, production is 3.x. I'm running 2.x.
Right.
Oh, God, Python.
I just ran out of my drink. I got to go grab another one. I'll be right back.
Cool. Oh, man.
Sorry, everyone watching. I didn't realize that Hannah left. Ooh, Ghost Podcast. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. It's very hot in our respective locations, so I think we were all going and getting some more liquids here. How's everyone in chat doing? I see there's a ton of people here joining us today. I see we got a bunch of new people now that this show is listed as a gaming talk show, which is very accurate. Welcome back.
I also ran out of drink.
Well, it's funny, I came back and everyone in chat is saying, like, are they ghosts? What happened?
I like how we have chat people now. It's like as soon as we walk away, it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, everybody, log on.
Well, I didn't realize. I think I forgot to tell you guys. I listed this show. You know how Twitch has that now playing field?
Yeah.
I listed this show as gaming talk show a couple
Okay.
weeks ago, and it seems like now we have random viewers, which is very nice. Hi, random viewers.
Random viewers.
But it seems like everybody joined when, in like the 2 minutes we were all gone.
Right. Like, oh, look, empty houses.
Yeah.
It's a horror cast. It's a horror show.
Oh boy.
Man. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, it's just like working in, like, education. Of course, everyone tries to do everything over the summer because they
Yeah.
have time now.
We're free.
Yeah. So, my life gets a little hectic this time of year.
Yeah, that was the same thing when I worked at that college. It was sort of like, all right, the kids are gone. Now we can do work.
Yeah.
And it's like
for
3
sure.
months of pure sprinting.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. Like, up until I think I've got a start like August 20 something
Yeah.
that I have to sort of orchestrate, and then oh god, that's gonna be good because I managed to going to PAX, doing that from August 27th until we get back the 1st. We leave really late on Monday the 31st, but. The nice thing was, I was like, well, I got a bunch of vacation days. I'll just take that next week off, and I didn't realize that was the week leading up to Labor Day.
Oh.
So I am off from August 27th.
You're like 2.5 weeks off.
Yeah, kind of.
Nice.
It's like the 27th to the 7th. I have... Yeah. Yeah, it's literally, I took 7 days, and I'm getting like... It's ridiculous how many days off I get out of that. It's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be a nice recovery period, and that whole week I'm just gonna play Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, of course.
Speaking of PAX, so
Oops, you froze.
well, obviously I'm gonna be. Yeah, of course.
Is
am I
Plex
back
still
yet?
running?
Plex might still be running.
That seems to be the only thing that really does that.
Yeah.
I'm glad no one got hurt either.
Uh-oh. Anyway, so I'm going to be at PAX on that Sunday that we're supposed to record.
Oh, okay.
So I don't
All right, buddy. Well, I'll see you in the morning.
I was thinking
Sure.
maybe since me and Jay-Z are going to
Sure.
be there, possibly do like some thoughts at the end of the day.
Oh, sure.
For each one, and maybe get the other two guys we're going with in, because at least one of those guys was supposed to be on the Game Club cast for Vampire the Masquerade, and the other guy actually hosted a games show on his college radio station, so he's got some experience.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking just do kind of like we did for the Galloping Ghost cast, do just sort of a round table and get some thoughts on what everyone's seen.
Sure. I mean, the
staff.
more coverage we can have of special events, I think
Yeah.
the better that this show turns out.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, I will never argue with more content.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd I miss?
Maybe we'll do like a pre-PAX like hype cast and just be like what we're excited to see and just do it as like a test run so you can sort of
Sure,
get an
yeah.
idea. Cool.
No,
Cool.
just Hannah's talking about doing some short daily coverage while they're at
Yeah.
PAX.
I kind of want to get a podcast gun like Jeff Gerstmann had for E3.
Oh, yeah.
And just like be like, hey, can you record something? Hey, Lorne Lanning, can you say the name of the podcast I'm on?
Yeah, I'd love that.
That'd be awesome. I'll see what I can manage.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready for the second segment here. Whenever you guys are. No, I lied.
mean,
I don't have
anything.
Gmail open.
Yeah.
I lied to you, and I'm very sorry.
Don't apologize.
Okay, I lied to you for a reason.
I lied to you because I didn't know any better.
We know what you did.
Oh, man.
Okay. How many tweets do we have?
So, do you guys know the protocol in case you have a live electrical wire on your car? What's the one thing you don't do?
You don't get out.
Yeah, you don't try to get out. You don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Is that what somebody just called you about?
No, that was yesterday's shenanigans.
Oh.
I had a truck driver leaving the yard, and didn't put his bed down and tore down all the power lines, and then he got out.
You don't get out.
Yeah.
No, none this.
Don't do anything.
I mean, it was stupid all the way around.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I had half of my company locked behind power lines and a garage door my boss refuses to fix.
Great. Great.
Awesome.
What a fun time for everyone.
Oh, it was great. But the kicker is so this guy's been driving a truck for years.
Mm-hmm.
The kicker is so it's parked. He literally had to drive maybe 1,500 feet with his bed up for this to happen.
Yeah.
At no point, not only did he go down, oil down his bed, get into it, start the truck, and then drive. And the amount of damage he did, he had been going in like third gear. Like
It's just cooking.
Like he had three shift changes before you hit that gate. It just because he was like almost halfway out into the street with like all this shit hanging over his truck. I'm like,
Jeez.
Wow.
and the illuminated cable, he still didn't fix the power. So
Great. Great.
because it's not we weren't just affected because they like connects to like 4 houses that are surrounding where this yard is.
Oh,
Ripped
jeez.
all the shit off of their fucking meter. I can only imagine what this is going to cost right now.
Speaking of power, it looks like it's going to rain here, so if I disappear, I have lost power.
All right.
Oh, hey, it's going to storm here too. I just heard some thunder outside.
Weird.
Yeah, that was probably the sun showers we got yesterday. Enjoy.
All right, so before any of us lose any power, let's get this last segment here kicked off.
Alrighty. All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for July 20th, 2015. Journey for the PS4.
It's so good. If you haven't
I
played
gotta
Journey
play that.
before, what's that?
I gotta play that.
You've never played Journey before?
Never touched it.
You've never watched anything about it, right?
Nope.
Just pick up the game and play
just
it.
go play
Let's
it.
play.
Put on some headphones, play it in the dark if you can. Those are
Yep.
optional, but it's
Cool.
like maybe an hour long, 2 hours if you're really being pokey. I think it's great. I won't spoil anything. I bought it again. That's how
Cool.
much I like it.
Yeah, I think I will buy it.
That's always a good sign.
Mhm.
Hadoful Boyfriend for the PS4 and PS4 or PS Vita.
This is, if no one knows anything about this is a pigeon dating sim. I am excited about this because I always thought it was a joke game. Apparently the story is really good. Like legitimately really good. So now I have to buy it and see.
Oh, that's some crazy foul.
Ah!
The
Joke was foul. Stop it, you.
You haters.
It's a foul.
Wolfenstein: The Old Blood retail comes for the PlayStation 4 and XBO. I will be buying this because I really like that game.
Yep. And support. Who made it? Raven? Id? Both?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Didn't you originally go out looking for a retail copy?
I
of this anyway,
did
Knox?
go out for the and my prayers have been answered.
Right?
Yep.
Now I can just buy it and put it on my shelf.
You
Yep.
buy 3 copies, send them to your friends.
I played you. Binding of Isaac Rebirth, new 3DS, XBO, and Wii U.
Go buy it. Game is
Nice.
great. Ooh, thunder. Hey, all right.
You guys heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sounds like somebody's hitting the mic, but I know the mic is far away from you. But also don't forget for Binding of Isaac, it's not the 3DS, it's only the new 3DS.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Apparently he had problems running it on the original 3DS because the processor isn't as good. He just needed that extra oomph to kind of get it running smoothly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on screen in that game.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And the Prototype Remastered Bundle for the PS4 and XBO.
Hey, don't buy that. In case you haven't heard, it runs worse than the PS3 version of the original 2 games.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
There are times where it runs at like 20 frames.
Shut up.
No. And
Shut up.
And the remaster didn't really do much. Which is sad because I feel like these games could have had a second life, but it suddenly got launched on Tuesday with no press releases previous. It's a digital-only bundle where you can only buy the 2 of them together at the moment. They'll be releasing a retail one eventually, maybe, but it's just like the prototype games weren't bad. They
Hulk with a hoodie.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing the first one, just kind of lost interest in it, but...
And I heard the second one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard good things about both of them. The first one came out around the same time as Infamous, so it kind of got overshadowed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Hopefully, it put out a patch.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
All right, moving on to news stories. In the biggest bummer news story of the year, Nintendo President Satoru Iwata dies at age 55.
Yeah.
Way too young. The brief statement from Nintendo was, Nintendo Corporate Limited deeply regrets to announce that President Satoru Iwata passed away on July 11th, 2015 due to a bile duct growth. If anybody remembers, about a year ago, he had a bunch of pretty serious surgery that he went through to deal with what seemed like bile duct cancer. And seemed like he was in the clear, and then very suddenly passed away.
Yeah, if you weren't paying attention to those stories, it seemed like this was completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, to the public at large, I'm sure it seemed very just sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise, but there were a lot of really good. The community did amazing images of the Nintendo characters. Like a tribute to him, which it was very touching.
Well, and it's really interesting to see a lot of people talking about Iwata's history, because I feel like, even for me, he's always been Nintendo's president.
Yeah.
After the previous one, he's always kind of been the dude who's in Nintendo, the monthly directs, and he's the guy on stage at E3. But he started out as a programmer at HAL Laboratories.
I had no idea he had been a coder. I had no clue.
I didn't either. He apparently saved Earthbound from almost not being released in the US and being developed. Wow. He apparently is the guy that got... Game Freak gave him the Pokemon source code, and within a week he had decrypted it himself, figured out this incredibly complex battle system and made it in a Pokemon Stadium. Yeah. And was just like, hey, I figured out your code. And they're like, it took 10 of us to write that thing.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in how incredibly talented Iwata was as a coder, you need to go look at an old blog post on Gama Sutra about the scripting language that runs Earthbound. He was one of the people that worked on Earthbound. To display text runs a scripting language to display it. So if there's a paragraph of text in the game, it has about 3 pages worth of code. Someone has figured out how to make a CPU using the scripting language to display text in Earthbound. That's how complicated this game is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a fascinating read. So this dude was incredibly talented, and even though he'd been sick lately, he was instrumental in working on the DS, working on the Wii, sort of bringing Nintendo into this next generation of players. And it's incredibly unfortunate he passed away, and at such a young age too.
Yeah.
For something that's that terrible. And it's nice to know that his impact is pretty serious and pretty wide-reaching. I mean, the DS and the Wii, you can't get much bigger than that.
Yeah.
So a pretty great legacy behind that guy.
Yeah. Sad loss for the entire gaming community.
Yeah, and also I'm going to be very interested. Boy, Thunder's getting close. I'm also interested to see who's going to take charge of Nintendo now. I know a lot of people are saying they wouldn't be surprised if it was Miyamoto. I'd be really surprised if it was Miyamoto.
I would be too.
He's not an executive.
Well, and I think Miyamoto's kind of getting moving out of Nintendo.
He's on his swan song right now.
Yeah, he's been making games for a really long time, and it seems like he's in more of a mentorship role at Nintendo rather than this is Miyamoto's new game. It seems like there's a lot less of that lately. So interesting.
Yep.
Our next news story, Roy295 in chat says Reggie. I don't know. I never got the impression that I don't know how Reggie would do leading Nintendo worldwide.
I don't think he would. He may take because Iwata was co-president of Nintendo of America.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I would think Reggie is probably going to just be president of Nintendo of America now,
Right.
and they will promote somebody from within Nintendo of Japan to lead Nintendo worldwide.
It'd be really nice to see someone from outside Nintendo lead Nintendo worldwide. I know it would never happen.
No, that's not how they operate.
But it would be kind of neat to see someone from even within the video game industry to kind of come in there and not shake stuff up, but maybe kind of turn the ship just a little bit.
Peter Molyneux?
What, Phil Moore?
Moore would be okay. That'd be an interesting one. You know, Moore has always kind of come into companies and not shaking stuff up, but just kind of...
Oh, come in, we're not doing hardware anymore.
Yeah. That's true. Maybe that's a good point. You know, this is on the back, too. I don't know if you guys saw... I don't have it in the show notes. I don't know if you guys saw Sega apologize for the last couple years of games. They basically said, like, hey, look, we know we've been messing up. We put out really well. Yeah. We've learned a lot from Atlas, and we're taking a lot of their cues on how to, you know, properly address fans and kind of gain your trust back.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's a good thing to hear from them.
Give me Eternal Champions.
There you go. Just one thing. All right, next news story: Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night, Iga's new game. He's shooting to have it be 1.5 times the size of Symphony of the Night.
That's pretty big.
1,600 rooms.
That's buddy.
That's really big. That's
a lot of castle.
That will hopefully be a lot of... I mean, if you can go back to remember the first time you played Symphony of the Night, if you don't know that castle, that's a pretty meaty game. You know, that takes you a while.
It does.
So I'm kind of excited to see what that thing is. I really hope that thing gets done.
Me too.
It looks glorious.
I don't think... I wouldn't say I have my doubts, but
cautiously optimistic.
Yes. Yeah. Cautiously optimistic that it will actually happen.
Yeah.
And it seems that a lot of the...
What gives you doubt?
It's a Kickstarter game.
It's a Kickstarter. You never know what can happen.
I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
I didn't back it, so it should be fine.
That's true. The thing that I'm kind of just cautious about is they don't have to finish it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's nothing saying that they have to do anything with the money that they got. They could just swim in it for a couple of months and say, like, the game wasn't working out. So I don't want to get my hopes up saying, like, oh, it's definitely going to happen and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to watch it. You know, I'm a backer, so I'll get all the updates. You know, it's not like Amplitude where that thing's going to come out pretty soon because every video they put out, it looks done. Yeah. You know, that's a game that's finished. They're just kind of polishing it at this point. So...
Yeah, like I feel like some of the stuff that happened with Mighty Number 9 and the weird Kickstarter stuff around that, I think it's a problem of Japanese developers going from this very structured corporate entities that they were part of, Capcom, Konami, whoever you might be, to doing sort of the freelance independent thing. It's not necessarily a part of their culture the way it is in America, where like Kickstarter, of course that's an American thing because we have that sort of I am me and I am the only me that there is.
Yeah,
and
you have the solid indie scene.
Yeah, the individualism of the American public is much, much higher than that of the Japanese public.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have no doubts that he wants to do the game and wants to finish the game, but we'll see.
And it's concerning because Concept is involved with both of those.
Yeah.
So, and Mighty Number 9 looks fine.
It looks good, but I want to play it. I'm going to buy it. I don't know if
it looks like multi-million-dollar okay. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been following it that closely, so...
Me neither. It's going to be one of those games. It's like, okay, I want to play a Mega Man game. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, but it's kind of not a Mega Man game. You might want to watch the videos.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like Mega Man if there were air combos.
That sounds okay to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked in what's it called? That Luchador game.
Oh, Guacamelee?
Yes, it worked in Guacamelee.
I gotta finish Guacamelee someday.
Yeah, you do.
You should. It's really good.
Yeah.
But this game's coming out, and it's going to be great.
I like your confidence. Let's roll.
That's right. Hey, PMA, baby.
Yep. Speaking of games coming out, it'll be great. Deadpool is back on Steam.
Yeah.
Suddenly, $40.
Maybe wait for a sale.
Yeah.
Definitely wait for a sale.
Yeah.
You know what? Go watch the Game Club cast.
Yeah. That game was supposedly pretty great. So
it is pretty great.
It's very entertaining.
Maybe I'll buy it this time and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I'll just buy it and never play it, like the rest of my Steam collection.
There you go. It's a solid policy.
Pause the Steam collection where games go to die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm engine at 500. I've probably played like 20. It's real bad in there. All right, let's move on to emails.
All right.
First email from Kevin from Cincinnati. The show is awesome. I always have a good time listening to you guys going to and from work on Mondays. Thanks for providing a free show. You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
For sure.
He says, I watched this and it blew my mind. He sent a link over to a GameSpot video called Reality Check, the Problem with PC Ports. So it seems like the crux of the video was kind of, well, we have problems with PC ports because of pirates. Which, come on.
Yeah.
So he says, come on now. Yeah, agreed. I can understand developing for PC hardware can be a bit complex because of so many configurations. Parenthetically, I've written some software myself, and it is difficult but not impossible. It's fair. It's not an easy job.
There's tools out there.
Yeah. Like SpeedTree. But a competent developer will get this right. Not to say it'll be perfect all the time, but some get it down without too many issues. Look at games like the Wolfenstein The New Order, Path of Exile, Borderlands 2, Shadow Warrior, Castlevania Lords of Shadow, and even Warner Brothers' own Shadow of Mordor all had very good PC launches. That's a great list of games on PC that just came out and they worked.
Yeah.
That's a really good list. He continues, but to blame piracy on it, come on. Yeah, people will pirate, but those numbers are super inflated. And there was a guy who did a video and pointed out just because the game was pirated doesn't mean it was a lost sale. I agree. We have talked that topic blue in the face on this show.
Yes.
I can't think of the term off the top of my head at the moment. They have no data to support this, though. That person could have bought the game down the road eventually. Not saying piracy is right or wrong, not the point of this email, but it's insane to say piracy is the reason for bad PC ports. What about Master Chief Collection, Assassin's Creed Unity, Ultra Street Fighter 4 PS4 Edition, Dragon Age Inquisition, Drive Club, Battlefield 4, and Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? Had console versions that had very bad launch issues and were addressed with patches, etc., and some still don't work correctly today. That is a pretty rough list of damning evidence.
Yeah.
I mean, no game is immune from having a really rough launch.
No, not at all. I mean, these code bases are so complex at this point and you're working on anywhere from, if you're doing console and PC, you're doing a minimum of 3 versions of the game.
Which is so frustrating because it seems like the middleware just isn't there yet. Because you look at E3 a couple of years ago, and both Sony and Microsoft were like, "Look, we're running on 64-bit processors. We're basically running on Windows on one of these. Should be pretty easy just to bring them right on over." And it doesn't, like most software development is. It's not that easy.
It is not.
But you would think we were kind of hoping it would be a little bit smoother along the way somewhere.
But Ian, where do they how do they not plan this far ahead to think okay, we have this and we want to port these games. How do we streamline this system to do?
It's middleware. It's all middleware. There's no nobody has come out with, or Unity or UE4 haven't come out with the right tools to say, what do you want to build this on? Check PC, check PS4, check Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's not that easy, unfortunately.
Yeah, and also think of, so you have the Xbox One and you have the PS4. You know exactly what hardware to expect within reason. Maybe you're not going to have the Kinect on the Xbox One anymore.
Sure.
But look at the PC. It is ever growing, ever evolving. It is very difficult to keep up with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So PC ports being kind of janky lately kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you can internally justify that a lot easier than the menus in PGA Tour being laggy on the PS4.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense.
You should have locked that down real early.
Yeah,
Like menus are should be a pretty simple thing. I don't know what's going on in the background on that, but there shouldn't be that much happening.
Nope.
Yeah.
But then you look at things like, The Witcher 3, which was, had a pretty good launch on both, but just had sort of issues abound.
Yeah.
So there's not only the complexity of the platform you're aiming for, but the complexity of what you're building.
Sorry, my phone is freaking out here. They're sending us a flood alert.
Oh boy.
Oh, nothing like a flood in the middle of a drought.
The thing here is when it rains, it floods.
Yeah.
I mean, our soil does not
hold water because it forgot how to.
Yeah, like that's not. So yeah, I don't know. It's.
And then you add in the complexity of something like DRM.
Yeah.
And so in a weird, silly, roundabout way, yeah, you could almost blame this on piracy, but it's really more appropriate to say that the response to piracy is probably more to blame for broken games than a lot of other things. Right. Look at things like, what's Ubisoft's service called?
Uplay.
Uplay. Ugh.
Hey. On PC, it's a mess.
It's a hot mess on PC.
Yeah.
Origin in the last few years has finally gotten better, but I mean, when that first came out, and then you have things like Games for Windows Live that's loading through Steam some games.
When you launch a service like that, they all start out like Steam did. It's just rough, and you don't want to use it, and it's pretty bad. But then it kind of gets smooth. You look at Origin, which... I think we all got the email that's like, hey, your Origin account's now going to be an EA account. I don't know what they're going to call Origin if they decide to change the name, but,
who knows?
They all started out kind of rough. And some of them, except for GOG Galaxy, because GOG has been around long enough that their client seems to be pretty solid.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah. Our next email here, I think our last email here from John H. Hey, guys, love the show. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thanks.
So what I took from the Hitman release plan is that the add-on content was in the form of contracts. They specified that the release was to be trickled out so that it could be impacted by community feedback. They said that they will change the content on the fly to be more in tune with what the audience wants and what is the most popular game mechanics. If there's a good way for us to impact future content to make it better, then I'm totally on board. I do think there absolutely needs to be a way in-game for us to input said feedback, though. If it's only on forums and Reddit, I don't think it will work as intended, being that the general public won't go to the trouble. Thanks, guys. P.S. Boston, the devs for Life is Strange are don't nod. They got rid of the space to make it a palindrome. Did not know that. Thank you. That's nice. That's very interesting. I won't mispronounce that anymore.
I love palindromes.
Yeah, I think that's interesting about. Hold on, I just got banned someone here in chat. I'm not gay as F, but thank you very much for your feedback. Thanks, Twitch chat.
Dang, I just got banned.
Continue. Yeah. You're just this self-hating podcaster.
Oh.
Yeah, I think for Hitman, I think that what would be really interesting for that if they would take. The last couple of Assassin's Creed games, I think what's been really interesting has been that, like, hey, you finished a mission, can you go rate it? I think that would be kind of interesting in Hitman if they actually take that feedback into account. Because when you look at the ratings for the Assassin's Creed games, you go through one of those, let me follow a dude mission or let me escort a dude mission. Everybody rates that a 1 because they're the worst.
Yep.
Yeah. And then next year's game, we still have them in the game. So it's sort of like, look, nobody likes these. Please, please get rid of them. We don't want them. If you could do that for Hitman, or if Hitman's release can sort of be, well, we're going to put out a contract and it's maybe a little bit more experimental. Yeah. That could be kind of cool. Or it could be the whole community is like, oh, we love this one mission. Just do another one like that, and they take it a little bit further. That could be pretty cool, but I don't know. It could be kind of neat, and I hope it really works out, because it could be kind of a cool idea to kind of continue to extend that game. I don't know if we've seen a game like that, but except for Asura's Wrath. But.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when you guys were talking about Rory McIlroy and how they're going to sort of use that as a platform and build it up.
Mhm.
Is that what we're headed for? Like, especially with sports games, considering the development time and development money that goes into those, and all the contracts and things. Is it better for them if we, launch a game 2 years into a console cycle and then update that version of the game while working simultaneously on, adding all the features and all that stuff? Because it seems when you switch, console generations, they always lose, they always drop features, and it's like it's like one step forward, three steps back.
Well,
and it doesn't seem worth it.
I feel like we sort of have to for like if you look at Rock Band and you look at Guitar Hero and a lot of these rhythm games, that's where they're going for that stuff.
Yeah.
Capcom just announced Street Fighter V is doing that. Where they're not launching another Street Fighter V, they're just adding DLC to it. Because they said for Street Fighter 4, every time they would come out with a new version, it got harder and harder for people to get into the game because okay, wait, do I buy Super or do I buy Ultra? Wait, which one is the one that came out? And then that one doesn't have, there's too much math going on here. So especially for a sports game, if the game isn't changing too much, and I'm sort of talking about the video game and the sport itself, if those aren't changing too much every year, just launch one of them. Maybe launch one every 3 years, every 4 years.
Yeah.
And just to get another game for $60 out there, I can't begrudge that. But why do you need to do that every year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know how the sports game contracts work anymore. Maybe there's some contractual obligation to push out a new version every year.
Maybe, yeah.
But like the thing to me would be just okay, get that baseline version working, and then every year, you know what? $10, get me my roster update, get me, some new modes, maybe a couple of different features.
Yeah.
Get me an NHL game that's going to last me 3 years.
Every year you have a big content patch, you have the roster update, you have all that stuff.
Yeah, and then build, and when you come out with a new game, make it a new experience. Don't just make it a roster update.
Right.
Well, and that's been probably one of our biggest complaints because we saw it work with a music game like Rock Band where they stretched the life of that game by saying this is the platform. This is what we're using to deliver all this content to you.
And when you went from Rock Band 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, there were these big upgrades. They were significant. Like Rock Band 2 and 3, they gave you more instruments. There's just... But then I think, to be devil's advocate, I think when you look at something like Call of Duty and Battlefield, I don't think you can really do that for a lot of those games because when they launch a new Call of Duty, they're usually sort of, okay, well, this is the Modern Warfare one, this is the Future Warfare one, this is the World War II one, this is the one that's focused on zombies. They're, to us, and to me, who doesn't really play those games, on the surface they can seem like a fairly similar experience, but when you get into it, it's a very vastly different experience from year to year.
There's a certain it's sort of a Dunning-Kruger effect thing where you have to have the same amount of knowledge to realize you're bad at something that it would take to actually be good at that thing.
Yeah, and John Connor 333 in chat says, "I agree 100%. Too bad it won't happen. They want money." Yeah, I think unfortunately. I think it's hard for a lot of publishers to see the long tail on that, and I think it'll be easier as digital sales get better because if let's say you put out next year's Madden is just NFL, Madden NFL, and it comes out on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and another one doesn't come out for another 5 years. I think you go into a GameStop and you see this game for $5, and you're like, okay, like where's the new one though? And it's like, no, this is the new one. You put it in and it downloads, 20 gigs of hot tapes, and you got the new one. But if PS4 and Xbox One were better, I think this would be an easier sell because you could say, okay, now it's featured on the store again because now not only do we have the roster update, we have better tackling physics. Yeah. We've done this, but we've done this stuff, and it's only $20, and you download this 40 gig file, and it's everything. It's already patched, and it's the whole experience. Now you can get into it, and it's proven itself year over year. But it's hard to tell a company, hey, just put out one game for the next 3 years, and it'll do pretty well. But if you put out a $60 game every year for 3 years, maybe you'll get way more money.
You get way more money, but you'll have a dissatisfied customer base. I mean, look what happened with NBA Live. It crumbled eventually.
Yep.
They ended up having to skip a couple of years there because the game was just in such a sorry state.
And half the time they couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't know. I think it's interesting for Hitman, and I think every game being digital helps this a lot. Because we're going to see a lot of, the stuff that CD Projekt Red is doing on The Witcher 3, where it's just like, hey, there's a DLC every week.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a new mission. There's a new costume. That sort of stuff. So, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this stuff gets kind of changed around.
Yeah.
And boy, it is really raining out there, which is good timing that we're done with emails here. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. I didn't put out my normal tweet, so we don't really have any tweets this week, except for someone was very nice to write in. Justin T. Bomb Wood wrote in about the Deadpool news story. Thank you very much. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. You can follow us on Tumblr, on Reddit, on pretty much anywhere you
everything
want
else
to find
on
us.
the right-hand side of the page.
It is all on the right-hand side of the page.
All right, and please join the forums. Don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Come join us for our game nights every night of the week. Monday, Battlefield 4, Xbox One. Tuesday is Destiny.
Sort of.
Wednesday, PS4 game night.
Rocket League,
Thursday, Steam game night.
Yep.
And Friday is your potpourri. Find us online. I'm sure we'll be there somewhere.
For sure. The current TVGP Game Club game is Shadows of the Damned, 360 and PS3. I think it's $20 digitally on both of those. You can probably
Super
find it used
cheap.
find it used for pretty cheap. We're starting a new thing. We're putting up the voting threads a little earlier, so the voting thread for Game Club 28 is up now.
Oh, nice.
We've got 3 games. We've got Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, suggested by me.
Ooh.
So you know which one you should vote for.
Yeah, duh.
We've got Metro Last Light, suggested by forum member the Fred, and we've got Red Dead Redemption, suggested by Jive495.
3 hot bangers.
Yeah.
I really need to play Red Dead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know which one we're gonna end up with, but this is a can't lose voting thread.
Yeah, totally.
I'm actually gonna toss the thread into chat here really quick.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And for
everybody in
everybody
chat,
that's,
check it out.
Everybody that's in chat, come join us for our game nights. And don't forget, you can watch us live every week, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. See you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
All right, titles. Boy, it is really coming down out there.
Yeah. No Jay-Z this week, so we've got a
I'm
short
missing,
list.
missing you, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Miss you, boo.
Pencils Running Wild. All right, so I've got Pencils Running Wild, Coma Mode, Right Tigger, Hold Paint Release, Uninstalled, Out the Tray and On the Shelf, I'm Here to Golf, Craft a Shot, Random Interloper, So Bad I Want to Stream It, It's a Video Game, Sorry Teammates, Like Speed Tree, and Self-Hating Podcaster.
I picked Right Tigger, but I also like Self-Hating Podcaster.
I'm a big fan of Self-Hating Podcaster.
Anything you feel strongly about, Knobs?
Nah.
I'm gonna pick Self-Hating Podcaster because I think that's pretty funny.
That was a good moment.
Yeah, I don't get to ban people from Twitch chat too often, but
That's what you
totally
get.
Never gonna be mean.
I totally missed it. I immediately jumped back on the thread. I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's gonna come back.
You're gonna be mean in Twitch chat. I'm gonna boot you.
Yeah.
You're not cool. All right, let's get started in. Not what I usually say. Take 2.
Well,
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 404 for July 20th, 2015. Self-Hating Podcaster.
I love it.
I'm just the worst.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching here. For anybody new that's watching and wants to play with people in the community, we have the best community on the internet. Go visit the forums. It's in the link right over there.
Oh, Prospect. Yeah, we have a whole thread to that in the forums about starting up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, just record yourself, put it online, ask for feedback.
Yep,
Put it online consistently.
Yes.
Yep, that's our That's our secret. You can even put stuff on SoundCloud now. You don't even have to. You don't even have to do anything crazy. So
right, and this is, I mean, TVGP as a whole has never missed a weekend.
No,
never in
404 straight episodes.
Yeah, which is, I mean, Jesus.
Well, I think we are now the longest running podcast, the longest running consecutive video game podcast.
Wow,
really?
Let me reach out to Guinness Book.
Yeah,
who do we beat?
There can't be another one.
Oh, it's all hyperbole.
Well, we have to sell ourselves a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Well,
we're the best pizza in town.
It's we get caught for libel.
Well, I mean, self-libel? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're the best pizza in town, Knobs.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm game.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening. Bye.